Good morning. How you doing, Rodney? Love you. Good weekend. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was up and down, but what weekend isn't going to be up and down for a minute? There's somebody I want to make a shout out to without blowing their identity, keeping their anonymity safe. I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you. You're showing this addict how to go through a struggle and still stay clean. So yeah, really proud of you. Anyways, not anyways. Yeah, man, that particular person is doing things that I couldn't do early in my like when I was getting loaded. So it's really showing me a fight, and that's the type of people I want in my life. I want people that I want all kinds of people in my life. At least, let me rephrase that. I don't need all kinds of people in my life. I want different variations of people in my life. I only want a handful. I only need a handful. I'll take whatever is given to me by my higher power. But seeing somebody struggle, want to get loaded, and then reach out to a support system, reach out to somebody in recovery and not get loaded, man, that was a challenge for me. So it's cool to see that. And what can I say, man? 6 months, 11 days, just trucking along here. I chair a meeting now, so I'm of service. My service is strengthening. Actually, 2 of them I chair, but one is once a month. So I have 2 chair positions, and I've got friends in recovery with 25 going on 26 years, 15 years, 12 years, 10 years, 42 days, 7 months. It's just a great little spread. I'm learning something from everybody, and I have something to offer as well. And I realize that, when you drink the Kool-Aid of when you drink this Kool-Aid, I don't give a fuck what people say. I've heard people say this shit's a cult. Okay, I'll join the cult that makes me a better person. I'll join the cult that has me help others. I'll join the cult that helps me save my life. I'll join a cult that has me when I'm acting out on character defects and I do something that is a bad behavior. I have to call myself out in front of strangers. I'll join that. If that's what people want to call it. But let me ask you this. For those of you that would say that, look within yourself. Let me ask you, are you working on your bad behaviors? Are you working on being selfless? Are you there for others? You keep what you have by giving it away. When you're struggling, where do you go? What do you turn to? I've watched people go through breakups, death in the families. I've watched people go through attempted suicides, kids with cancer, showing up, talking about it, staying clean. It's the only place I want to be. I'm going to tell you right now, something's going to happen in my life that's going to be detrimental to my emotional state. And I'm either going to turn to what makes me want to change the way I feel, or I'm going to turn to something that makes me put my feelings out there in the open and go through them in a healthy manner to where I don't give it the power that I used to. And that's what this is all about. I heard somebody share that they go into these rooms so they can live right out there. That was a very wonderful, interesting concept I never thought of. And that's what I mean. Like, I go into these things even when I don't want to. I mean, considering what I have going on right now without putting anybody on blast, I don't feel like I have the time to be doing that shit. I got a clean house. I got to take care of kids. Lots of kids. At least 4 at a time. You know, well, really 3. One of them's self-sufficient. The other one comes over every other week. And then one of them lives on their own. There's 6 of them that I have to be available for. And I have to spread my time. And none of them that are 12 or older want me to stop going to this shit. So I must be doing something right, and it must be doing something right. I heard my son once say, I think you need to make that meeting. You know, and he ain't one to fucking want to go to this shit, you know. But he knows that it works for me. I had somebody really close to me without sharing their, you know, anonymity isn't just the people in the rooms. It's when I share about things on here, I don't be putting people on blast, you know. But I had somebody who doesn't do this, who asked me when's the last time you talked to your sponsor? This was a couple years ago. And I said, well, it's been like a month or 2. They knew I was struggling. And they said, well, I don't know much about how that stuff you guys do works, but I do know this. If I break my arm, I go see the doctor for my arm. If I got something going on with my stomach, I go see the doctor, a doctor for my stomach. This seems to be your doctor. I think you might want to consider going to the doctor for this. And it was like the best advice somebody not in recovery gave me about recovery, because they understood. Those are the support people I want in my life. I don't have to have just recovery people in my life, right? I'm not going to. It's not like I work in recovery. But I definitely want the people that I, you know, have in my life. I want those people to be about my best interest, you know, and they don't have to come in and intervene. They just, I want them to be, you know, I want them to be able to, I want those type of people to be like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, don't do that. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. You know, like, that's, you know, I don't like when people tell me what to do. All the way to the point where I'd fucking be in a dark room. Darkness. So, clearly my way of thinking doesn't always work for me. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Sometimes I can't just depend on you know, everybody. I gotta figure it out on my own. But when it comes to like certain things in my life, I need to lean on people that have been through it, or are going through it, or they won't co-sign my bullshit, really. I got people that are not in recovery that will not co-sign my bullshit. And I like having people like that in my life. Positive influences in my life to help me stay positive, to be a good positive influence in my kids' life, as well as people that I come across. You know, I don't want to be that guy that you walk by and you're like, hey, how are you doing? And then all of a sudden, whatever comes out of my mouth makes them regret asking me how I'm doing. You know? And it could just be like, just talking like for 15 minutes straight, not giving them a chance to say anything. They're like, oh my God, why'd I say that? You know, like, I just want to be a beacon of light for people and be available. You know, I'm learning that I don't have to help everybody. And I'm also learning that I can't help everybody. There are certain people, there are people that I'm not going to be able to save. I can't save anybody. But, you know, it's based on attraction rather than promotion. So that's a concept that I can work with, that I just, saying it out loud right now, I'm hearing it differently for the first time ever. Attraction rather than promotion. Living amends, not telling amends. I'll be making amends once I get to that point. But right now, I don't have to tell people how to do their thing. But if somebody comes up and says, hey man, I got this going on, or I know somebody got this going on, what do you think? That's when I can be available. I don't have to push my recovery, my religion, my anything on anybody. Just be available. I've worried about what people think for a long time, and I still do, but I just don't obsess over it like I used to. And it feels good to not have that burden on my shoulders. I have a higher power that can handle that does that. I ask my higher power sometimes to help others. In fact, I ask my higher power to help others every day, not sometimes. And then there's sometimes I'm not saying it out loud, I'm just thinking, please help this person. Can they borrow you for a minute? So all in all, what a great morning. It started off shaky. I woke up a little later than I needed to, but it also gave me an opportunity to, it's funny how I can look at that and you can really think of it two ways. Fuck, I should have done this, or, well, because of this, it gave me an opportunity for this. And today gave me an opportunity to go into somebody's school and just have a conversation, and let them know that this person is taken care of. And that's comforting. And look at this. I'm going to be early to work. It's funny. The first thought that goes in my head is, I could have done one more set. It's as if I like fucking rushing to work and stressing. You do something like that for so long, you get used to it, and then when you don't have it happening, you're just like, well, what can I do to make that happen? It's funny. Anyways, so yeah, man, I like that I can do these little check-ins and this little inventory thing that I do. It's a wonderful journal that I have going on, this diary, this video diary I have going on. I feel like it's healthy, and I feel like I can express myself better than writing. Fuck, I love to talk, as you can tell, but also it's saved. I'm saving it, I'm saving myself through people too, through my higher power, through God. I got to take my kids to church this Sunday, and I was struggling with something hard, and I was talking to Lainey about it. I don't mind saying my kids' names sometimes, but I was talking to Lainey about it, and Lainey said, well, why can't you? And I said, well, because it's just not, it's not practical. How can that work? And she said, well, you know what I learned today? And I said, what did you learn today? And she said, with God, anything is possible. And it just melted my heart. I got my 11-year-old telling me something that I've been preaching on this platform. Just trust in him. It'll all work out. I need to be reminded. So my disease, they say, change your people, places, and things. Those are the things that, your disease, or the devil, however you want to label it, creeps into your life and gets me loaded. People, environments, and you know, things, stresses, and, you know. And also, that's how my higher power works through me. People, places, and things. And so, maybe when I'm stressed, because I heard that worry is the practice. It's when you practice worry, you're not praying, and that's also a practice. It's just really easy to go to worry, anger, and fear. So easy to do that because I've been doing it for so long. It's so much harder to say, okay, I'm afraid here, and you know, it's not real. So, a little over 15 minutes, we'll call it a day. I hope you have a good day today, whoever's watching this. You're worth it. You know, if you're at a point in your life where you're like, I haven't picked up for a few days, or I haven't picked up for an hour, I haven't picked up in 16 minutes and 18 seconds. You know, I hope I'm saying something here that maybe helps. Don't reach out to me. It's not what this is about. I'm not looking for the notoriety with all this. My goal here is really just, my vision is, you know, when I die, I'm watching a TV that God puts on for me and says, hey, I want you to watch this before we walk through these gates. And it's like somebody sitting down, they're just fucking not doing well, and they're like flipping through YouTube, and all of a sudden they come across something at the right time, and it's me, you know, and they're just like crying, and they're like, you know, they're just listening, and then they go on their phone and they look up NA meetings locally, and they fucking walk into one, and then they got a day clean, and then, you know, they got 2 days clean, and then all of a sudden they're picking up a 30-day tag, and then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, they got 6 months and they're speaking at the treatment center that they decided to go into or something, and then all of a sudden they're talking to somebody, and that person now has an hour clean, you know, and then that person has 6 months clean or a year clean, and that person's sponsoring somebody, and maybe my video had something to do with it, and I got no acknowledgement for it until I'm sitting down watching this TV, and then he's like, hey, check this out, and it's another person who gets to hold their fucking baby or their kid because they got to a point all by clicking on my shit, and I never know about it. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. You know, more importantly, like, one of my kids is missing me, and I'm watching it live, and they're seeing me talk to them, and just the thought of it makes me super emotional. And so, you know, cool with that, man. I don't sit on here and go back and look and see if there's any comments, you know, which is cool, because like, I think I'm the type of person that would want to do that, you know, like, I know I'm that person. Like, I go back and obsess, well, why aren't there any comments? Maybe I should say something different. Maybe I should say something better. Maybe I should, fuck that, man. That's what got me in trouble in the first place. So, you're wanted, needed, and loved. And if you don't think you're worth it, you're worth it. Just for today, man. I like that tag. Just for today. Don't pick up. Just for today. Don't fucking be a fuck off. Just for today. Maybe love your kids a little more. Just for today. And tomorrow do the same thing, or work on tomorrow. Just for today. Say enough is enough. Just for today, say I need more love, not that. Anyways, Yeah. I hope you have a wonderful day today, whatever day it is. Or I hope you have a wonderful evening. You got this.